Today's story was written by Reddit user Catfish21SM. Everyone knows the term glitch. It's used to refer to electronic devices malfunctioning. Oftentimes this is used in reference to computing devices, games performing actions incorrectly, objects clipping through other solid objects is a common example. AI glitch, they give incorrect answers based on a glitch in their processing. Glitches are pretty simple. There are two primary reasons that they occur. Either the machine performing the process is given more input than it can process, causing incorrect processing, or it is given an impossible question that it must answer. Oftentimes a glitch isn't as much one or the other, but a combination of both of these factors. But what happens when both of these factors come together in a real-world situation? An impossible scenario that must be played out and far more input than could ever be considered reasonable. The answer to that is simple. It glitches. It doesn't necessarily glitch in the way that you might expect. You see, reality is not capable of breaking its own laws like a program that is given too much data or an impossible situation would. Reality doesn't just crash, but it still has to find an output for its input. The way it does that is quite fascinating. There are many loopholes in reality as we know it. Just a few rotations ago, our foremost scientists were arguing over these loopholes with quite the fervour. It all started when a student's computer simulations went terribly wrong. The student had programmed the device to perform a simulation on a Category 3 danger rating 7 death world. Life in such an extreme environment should, by all accounts, be impossible, but the simulation still produced life. This started the controversy. Many of our best scientists argued that the results were due to a glitch in the program. Setting life on such a world would add far too many variables for the program to handle. Furthermore, the program by its very nature must continue to process the impossible situation until a viable solution was found. It had to be a glitch. There was no other viable explanation. However, a small group of scientists argued the opposite. They were fringe scientists, often compared by the media to conspiracy theorists. Well, that is until they were proven correct in the most horrifying way possible. A probe sent to explore the galaxy returned information about a world rich in resources and showing possible signs of biological life. As per normal protocol, a team of investigators was dispatched to gather additional data that the probe could not supply. Even though rare, sapient life was possible, so a diplomat was sent with them. What they found was immediately classified as top secret information. Only agents at the highest level were privy to this information. Scientists were invited to study firsthand the new discovery. However, they were sworn to utmost secrecy. What was found was a glitch in reality, a Category 9 threat level 12, arguably even 13 death world, and it was teeming with complex life. Now, I'm not referring to very simple multicellular organisms, sentient life forms with a working nervous system and brain structure, and there weren't just a few of these either. There were millions of different life species, multiple food chains. But the single most terrifying discovery of all was a single apex predator found on this death world. This predator had earned its place in this environment through one means only: its extraordinarily complex brain structure. Its brain structure gave it a high level of sentience, so much so that it was not only capable of driving to extinction all of its major competitors, but allowed it to leave its planet. The task of leaving the planet alone was enormous, considering the gravitational pull of this world was 4 times greater than galactic standard. Immediately we began to study this species, and we were completely blown out of the water. Almost every aspect of their being far surpassed what was possible for biological life. Their evolution had exploited every loophole that it could find in the laws of nature in order to produce the perfect apex predator. It had to. There was no way that any species could even survive on this planet if it hadn't taken advantage of every loophole that nature allowed. Their physical makeup incorporated numerous features that we didn't even discover possible until thousands of years after we left the gravity of our own homeworld. Muscle fibre twisted around itself to produce far more strength. An adaptive neural network that processes entirely new information on the fly. They did not have to stop and allow their brains time to process new information. They were capable of processing it while performing other tasks. Everything about them was a glitch found in reality. Just from the biological scans alone, our own technology improved by more than 1,000 years worth of research and development. The humans are a truly terrifying species. They should be feared and simultaneously glorified in the galaxy. You may be wondering why I'm telling you all of this all of a sudden. It's not because we are asking for cooperation in studying these primitive, albeit impossible life forms. It's because we wish to welcome them with open arms to the Galactic Union. Now I know what you may be thinking. It would be dangerous just to release this information to the general public, let alone welcome this species to the Galactic Union. I understand that you may want to deny my request and immediately set out to exterminate this species as quickly as possible. However, I would like to inform you of one final minor fact. The humans' most prominent and glitch feature is their adaptability. Their physical prowess made it nearly impossible to study them up close and personal by force. I mean, they are the apex predator of a Category 9 Threat Level 12 death world after all. So we had to make a deal. Before you ask, no, we did not give them access to any of our technology. We merely allowed them to look at it. Unfortunately, that was far more than they actually needed. We didn't even allow them to see our warp drives, and yet, just knowing that they existed and knowing the overall layout of our ship was all they needed to not only build, but improve upon our existing designs. I tell you this because, and I will reiterate, a Category 9 Threat Level 12 Death World apex predator that drove to extinction all of its competition is coming this way as we speak with an FTL warp drive that is even faster than our own. Their ETA is 15 minutes. We have 15 minutes to decide if we will give this species a place in the Galactic Council and try, but likely fail to control it using politics, or if we will attempt to exterminate this species and likely end up the same way that all of the other predators on their homeworld ended up. Personally, I would prefer to be domesticated by them than be driven to extinction by them, but that's just my opinion. What? They're here already? Silently thinking. Sorry men, it seems our time is up. We have now to make up our minds. I ask, no, I beg you on behalf of every sapient species in the Galactic Council, please choose wisely.